Then I guess it's gonna be really one-sided.
Since the release of its first season back in January of 2016, Shadowhunters: The Mortal Instruments became one of the most popular supernatural shows to ever air on Freeform, bringing names like Katherine McNamara and Dominic Sherwood to the fore. With its predictable but exciting plot and cast chemistry, it's really no wonder that fans were disappointed to see the ending of the series as soon as May of 2019. But what do we know about the current lives of our favorite cast members from the show, and would they consider coming back to the set for the continuation of the franchise? Before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos we post. Katherine McNamara. First up on our list is Katherine McNamara, who is best known for her breathtaking portrayal of leading lady Clary Fray. Although her full name might have some of you thinking Irish heritage, Katherine was actually born in Kansas City, Missouri on 22nd of November 1995, making her only 25 years old at the moment. She still has an incredible acting career ahead of her and will probably feature in a number of different shows in the future. It may be true that she is best known for her leading role in Shadowhunters: The Mortal Instruments, but this is by far the last role she decided to take on in an attempt to pay the bills. In fact, her work on the franchise as the demon-slaying Shadowhunter turned rune-making expert caught the attention of the CW, who have a knack for selecting beautiful people to take on roles in action franchises that have a pretty heavy feel for romance. And wouldn't you know it, this secured her place in the Arrowverse as Mia Queen, otherwise known as Mia Smoak, in a timeline that was subsequently erased from the history of the franchise. Being the daughter of Oliver Queen and Felicity Smoak comes with certain advantages, such as a pretty great set of reflexes and a mind that cannot be beat. As such, Katherine made quite the name for herself through the runtime of the Arrowverse, allowing her to secure appearances on sister shows like Supergirl, Batwoman, and The Flash. And since Mia goes on to become the infamous superheroine Black Star, Katherine most certainly upgraded from the Shadowhunters franchise. No disrespect to Shadowhunters, of course, but the rating of these CW shows just don't lie. The actress appeared in another CW show called The Stand, where she portrayed the role of Julie Lawry. Being a post-apocalyptic look at the world through the eyes of Stephen King, there's no doubt that The Stand was a great series to add to her CV. The star has also started to make her way into the horror genre, which can be seen by her appearance as Chrissy in the comedy horror by the name of Untitled Horror Movie. Although nothing more than a spoof consisting of a number of horror tropes, this has led to rumors that she will be taking on a far more serious role in the upcoming urban legend film, which revolves around the unusual deaths of college kids on campus. Since this film is in pre-production though, none of this information has been confirmed just yet. Dominic Sherwood. Next up, we have Dominic Sherwood, who is to this day still known as Jace Herondale for the role he portrayed in the Shadowhunters universe. Funnily enough, Dominic has spoken out about how uncomfortable he actually felt portraying the character of Jace, who wasn't the type of person he would have liked to be known as. Not only did his romance with Clary come to an end upon discovering that he was actually her brother, he also had a pretty controlling nature, resulting in him being almost hated as a character. Dominic has been working hard to make some waves in the film industry so that fans of the show can come to respect him as more than just Jace Herondale. And as it turns out, this hard work paid off. Dominic was able to secure himself a recurring role on the Showtime series Penny Dreadful: City of Angels, where he brought the character of Kurt to life. This was a pretty massive role for Dominic, as it saw him appearing alongside famous names such as Natalie Dormer and Nathan Lane, all of whom have incredible resumes. And although the show was far from the best rated in the history of Showtime, its first season run has resulted in a pretty solid fan base, causing Dominic to now be called Kurt rather than Jace. According to reports, this is the last role that Dominic has been able to secure for himself, with the Penny Dreadful series unfortunately being canceled by Showtime due to the global health situation. Alberto Rosen. Then we have Alberto Rosen, who is best known for the reprisal of his role of Simon Lewis in the Shadowhunters franchise. The American actor was actually born in South Florida back in Valentine's Day of 1993, making him 28 years old at the moment. He shadowed quite a lot of range in the franchise franchise, developing from the fearful best friend of Clary to a pretty brutal vampire who fought on the side of the Shadowhunters and ensured that the world wasn't brought to its knees. And luckily for Alberto, this portrayal of his opened quite a few doors in the filming industry. Just after the season finale of The Mortal Instruments in 2019, Alberto secured himself a role on Chicago Fire as Blake, who has also made appearances on the sister show Chicago PD. This has propelled his name to new heights of fame, with the Chicagoverse being one of the most watched sets of shows in the world. Considering how the star has been battling cancer from his diagnosis in 2013, we can't help but rejoice at the fact that he has been able to make an even greater name for himself in the years after Shadowhunters. But his time on the set of the show didn't just result in him making a success in the filming industry. In fact, Alberto is currently dating another actress who became known throughout the runtime of the series. We are, of course, referring to his loving relationship with Tessa Mossy, who is best known for her portrayal of Heidi McKenzie in the Shadowhunters franchise. The duo have kept their relationship pretty much out of the public eye in recent years, but we wouldn't be surprised if we saw an engagement ring in the future. They do, after all, seem to be a perfect match for one another. Matthew Daddario. Another name that Shadowhunters The Mortal Instruments made famous was Matthew Daddario, who took on the role of Alec Lightwood on the show. This all-American actor was born in the great city of New York on the 1st of October 1987, making him significantly older than the other cast members at 33 years old. But what you might not know about him is that he is the younger brother of famous actress Alexandra Daddario, who made a name for herself in the Percy Jackson franchise growing up. On account of his sister's fame, Matthew is often overlooked for roles as the less talented Daddario sibling, which is why he truly appreciated what the Mortal Instruments did for his career. By developing the character of Alec to the extent that he did, Matthew was able to secure himself a place on the set of Tommy, where he portrayed the role of Blaine for an episode. He then played the role of Owen in the television series Trust, which was unfortunately a bit of a flop. This wasn't the end of Matthew, though, who was contacted by the showrunners of Why Women Kill to take on the recurring role of Scooter Polarsky. The heartthrob will also be reuniting with Victoria Justice in an upcoming movie called Push, but not much is known about the film as of right now. This wouldn't be the first time that he appeared alongside Victoria Justice, though, with the two previously starring together in Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List, which became one of the most watched teen comedies of the year. According to rumors currently floating around, Katherine McNamara may also have a spot for herself in the upcoming film, but as we mentioned earlier, not much is really known about Push at the moment. Emerald TBia. Next up on our list is Emerald TBia, who is best known for her portrayal of the beautiful Isabel Lightwood in the Shadowhunters universe, setting herself apart from the rest of the cast members of the show by having been born in Montreal, Canada on the 1st of March 1989. Emerald is currently 32 years old, bringing her closest in age to her on-screen brother Matthew. This brilliant actress was clearly propelled into fame by her role as Isabel, but this is far from the only show that she has been able to add to her resume in the years since. In fact, directly after the end of the show's runtime, she was brought on to star in the romantic Hallmark movie Love in the Sun, where she portrayed the role of Alana. Since then, she has appeared in one episode of Acting for a Cause as Sloane Peterson and made waves last year by securing herself the role of Rosalinda in the short of the same name. Rumor has it that she will also be involved in the upcoming television series With Love, which is currently in pre-production. Harry Shum Jr. Last but not least, we have Harry Shum Jr., who portrayed the role of Sorcerer Supreme Magnus Bane on the show. The former Glee star has clearly made a name for himself over the years, and since Shadowhunters has secured himself a place in films such as Escape Plan: The Extractors, Burn, Heart of Life, and All My Life. Since he welcomed his first child into the world back in 2019 with wife Shelby Rabara, Harry has been spending as much time as possible with his family. He will be making his return to the filming industry in the coming days, appearing as Owen Lynn in the movie Love Hard, which is currently wrapping up with post-production. This isn't the last you've heard of Harry Shum Jr., but what do you think of where the cast of Shadowhunters are now? Be sure to let us know in the comment section down below.